I'm Jeff Hutz. He's Bill Thorpe. It's Friday in the Mile High City.
Gonna be warmer over the weekend. Not swimsuit weather. Just letting you know. Not that one.
Yeah, apparently if you're the pipe bomber, though, it's shorts weather all the time in Washington, D.C.
Worked with a dude in radio for a long time, and there are some radio fans in Denver, longtime radio fans, that would recognize this name. And the guy during and it's not Peter Boyles, okay, this is got to tell you, not Peter Boyles, but during his alcohol years, he would never wear pants during winter. It was sort of a badge of honor with him. Now, since he has stopped drinking a number of years, he's also lost a lot of weight. And he's like, funny enough, I don't have as much insulation.
Yeah,
so now he wears pants.
Cooler.
Yeah, he's like, a lot cooler. He goes, I thought I was so tough. He goes, no, I was just fat. That's all it was.
You do got to love Colorado in the sense, like, you'll get, like, really snowy days. It's just kind of crazy. And then those beautiful bluebird sun-shining days that come after it with all the snow on the ground. It's just magical.
Those are my favorite pictures to share online.
Yeah.
Because it's like bright blue sunshine. It looks like it should be 80, but you see the ground and there's snow. And I will get like text messages from people in Florida that are friends of mine going, where do you live? What is going on? What is wrong with your state?
How does it look so warm?
Yeah, what is going on here? Yeah.
We're talking the Colorado Sun's article about the Public Utility Commission's finalizing plans to push natural gas out of Colorado home heating 100%. They want to hit this 100% decarbonization plan. That means existing homes need to get rid of their natural gas stoves, natural gas heaters, water heaters, and fireplaces. Yes, you. They want you apparently living off of entirely renewable energy, which isn't reliable. Hence, shivering cold in your dark house is ultimately where I think they want you. Let's go to the phone lines. Frank in Denver. Good morning, Frank. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Morning.
You know, my greatest desire for this state for the next 25 years by 2050 to instead of get rid of natural gas would be to be a state that used more common sense rather than be ruled by progressive ideology of whoever can get elected by mechanics of politics. And it's so sad to see a beautiful state like this have to be subjected to these type of ideas that constantly keep coming up by leftist majority down at the State House, all the way, House, Senate, and governorship. So I just want to tell you about a book. It's about 10 or 15 years old, written by a millennial. It's called The Moral Case for Fossil Fuels. And I can't remember the author, but it's The Moral Case for Fossil Fuels. And it pointed out that across the world, over the world, every night, more people go to bed warmer, better clothed, better fed, and better medicines because of fossil fuels than as a result of some downside of fossil fuels. So the science is there. The ideology of bought politicians will always keep coming up, but to impose a burden on these poor people that have had natural gas for 75 years, since the early 1900s, that warm their homes, and we're lucky enough to be living in a state with a higher percentage of natural gas, and there are a lot of those scattered across the West. You take advantage of the common sense things that we have. And we are blessed with solar as well. But we're not using the benefit of solar architecture always in our building with increased south-facing glass and increased thickness in homes and et cetera. But we just need to start thinking smarter rather than more politically.
Frank, you bring up a great point. That book by Alex Epstein, The Moral Case for Fossil Fuels. I think that the green movement is entirely the result of privileged elite people thinking that they can make these sacrifices without recognizing the downstream impact this has on just about every other aspect of life. It is cheap fossil fuels is part of is some of the fastest, easiest way to get people out of poverty and to develop nations. And really, if you think that we need to all be on solar and wind, You better check yourself, because I think that's your privilege showing. Frank in Denver, thank you so very much for your phone call. We appreciate it. We're going to be joined by Erin Lee. She's got a signature gathering campaign coming up on 3 very important ballot initiatives. You're not going to want to miss this. Now it's time for the news.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Hey, good morning. Let's celebrate. It's TGIF. It is Friday, 28 and cloudy in Denver. Expecting a high of 41 today. News sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story, you know what? The lefties want to destroy this state. Another example. Public Utility Commission finalizing a plan to push natural gas out of your homes. Great. Just screw everybody. Barb Kirkmeyer is running for governor, and she was on with Jeff and Billy last hour, and she knows how ridiculous this is, especially because of the cost to existing homes.
It will mean, and they're going to force people to get rid of all of their natural gas appliances. So you'll have to get heat pumps. You won't be able to have natural gas stoves, anything of that nature. And we'll become solely reliant on what they're calling renewable energy, which is wind and solar, which I think we all understand is not sustainable. And these plans have been tried in other states, and we've seen, the rolling brownouts like in California and on the eastern coast and down in Texas during the big, huge windstorm. So it's just going to mean a more increase in cost.
That's exactly right. The wind's not always blowing and the sun's not always sunning. But we have more sun than in most states in the country, thank God. Keep on fighting, Barb. Thank you. The man charged with planting pipe bombs in D.C. 4 years ago is set to appear in federal court this morning.
FBI agents arrested 30-year-old Brian Cole Jr. in his Woodbridge home yesterday. Authorities say Cole placed 2 pipe bombs outside RNC and DNC headquarters on January 5th. Court records show Cole lived in the home on Manor House Court and worked as a bail bondsman in Northern Virginia. He also graduated from Hilton High School in 2013. The FBI says he purchased the bomb-making materials from stores in Northern Virginia, including Home Depot and Lowe's. Investigators had been trying to find a suspect for years and say they'll continue working to figure out a motive. I'm Rosie Rivera.
Keep an eye. Well, we're not going to hear anything more on that. Federal officials have announced 12 arrests, though, in Minnesota. These people are accused of being in the country illegally. They say the arrests include individuals with prior assault, child sexual abuse, domestic violence, and DUI convictions, as well as one alleged gang member. DHS launched the operation December 1st. Laura Logan says the DJT needs to hold corruptocrats and the crooks in government and the deep state like James Comey and John Brennan accountable, or Democrats are actually going to use that against him and try to impeach him in less than a year.
I think they're going to use that against him. And so
Sorry, I said exactly what she said. Continue.
They're not stalling for 4 years. They're not waiting for him to finish his term. They're stalling for 1 more year. And guess what? They're not just stalling. Yes, that is a massive tactic. I think the reason they're not using racism as much at the moment is not because they're stalling, but because that tactic has failed. People are sick to death of hearing about it. They also see through it. They see the hypocrisy. They know that these people don't care about race. They didn't start rioting because they care so much. They used people who care a lot about those issues.
All right, let's put the cuffs on the bad guys like Comey. All right, update here for my boys in the studio, Candace at Turning Point, Candace Owens and Turning Point USA may have a date of December 15th, a live stream at 4 o'clock. It wasn't pretty, though. There was a fight involved in this.
You kidding me? Anytime, any place, I'm ready. I'll go right now. How about the 15th? I can't make it work.
I was thinking that too. But they did do it over X, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was stupid. Just text each other.
And it was
out.
like at
It's
midnight.
childish.
I think it was like at midnight or whatever.
Yes,
and then,
I agree with that.
And then Tim Pool says her talking about Charlie's assassinations and the questions involved could cause us to lose midterms. Here's a little from Candace on that subject.
For wanting to figure out who murdered her friend. Don't you guys get it? Like, we're just an algorithm. Why do you care so much about humans? Like, why are you a human? Like, if somebody in your family dies, you need to focus on midterms. Okay? That is the point of a Tim Pool show. It doesn't matter what you are going through at home. I want you guys to hear this, okay? I don't care if you have family members that are dying, family members who have died, if you have children that you care about and you maybe don't want to live in a world that's run by pedophiles. You need to put that all aside and vote for whoever the hell Tim Pool tells you to vote for.
I kind of agree with her on
Oh
that
my
one.
gosh, you and I are on so opposite pages here. Like there's a universe where I am married to Candace Owens and I have to listen to ska music every day, and it's just an ongoing daily hell. I cannot listen to that woman's voice. I cannot listen to her
You're not
conspiracy
listening today?
theories. I'm so done, bro. It's like I just seriously, it's like nails on a chalkboard to listen to her anymore. She's
I'll keep
horrible.
you updated. I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, with your like lovely fawning of her.
Oh man! All right, I'll tell you on Monday what she says today. Billy, the 2026 World Cup draw takes place at the Kennedy Center in D.C. today. DJT
Yes,
and
it
other
does.
dignitaries will be in attendance at the big event. Why is this a big deal, Billy?
Because you're drawing the pots for who's going to compete against whom inside of the World Cup. This is a big deal. All the teams are starting to set up their lineups, everything else, and this is based on seeding. Everybody's been working on this for about 4 years. It takes you 4 years to qualify for each World Cup. So basically, this is the idea of you're going to get groups put together, and then you're going to see who has to play whom in order to break out of the groups, and then to advance the next rounds. This is going to be fun. This is going to be an interesting one, and there's always going to be one or maybe even two groups that get stacked with teams. The U.S. has come out of some difficult groups before, so this is going to be really interesting today. Yeah.
Okay, who are the top two favorites going in?
That's hard. That's hard to say.
Is Argentina still up there?
Yeah, Argentina is very, very competitive. Argentina is really difficult. Spain is going to be really, really tough. Germany has their moments, but they've been hot and cold. Italy, if they can manage, because they've got to actually get in through a play-in system and format. If they make it, they're going to be dangerous because of where they're going to be seeded. They're going to be a lower seed, but they're going to be tougher to play against. England also. England has a team that top to bottom has some of the best talent on the entire planet, but they have often wet the bed. And so that's going to be a real thing about them. Yeah. Can they put everything together? Because player for player, they have one of the best squads on the planet, but can they play together? The current head coach has got a really interesting formation he's putting him in that's taking advantage of some stuff. So England could be a tough one for me right now. Argentina and Spain. Those are the two giants that someone's going to have to take down. Those are the two favorites right now. But Lionel Messi may not be playing. He has recently, in a couple of interviews, said that he may be watching this World Cup from home. And, that wouldn't be surprising.
Okay.
Yeah, those would be the two.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. But those are the two that I would look at is if you're going to be betting right now, those are the two, but don't bet heavy because they both have weaknesses. Yeah, and could be taken down. But Spain is probably, if I had to put money on it now, Spain is the one that I would say is most likely to make the final. I'm not saying they're going to win, but most likely to make the final. If I had to pick one team that you can guarantee is going to be in the final, that's who I would put above everybody else would be Spain at this point.
That is World Cup expert Billy Thorpe.
Thank God we have him, man.
Guidelines. Yeah, man, that dude, I don't think anyone can compete with Billy. No way. No way,
I
Bill.
spend way too much time watching this stuff.
I love it. Well,
I was
enjoy
watching
it
stuff
today.
yesterday. Yeah, Manchester United took on Aston Villa yesterday, and I was watching that in the background while I was doing some other radio recording and watching that. And so, yeah, the thing is, I don't even have to watch it in English or even with the sound on because I can see it. You're like, you can watch everything. It's like, so it's fun to
cool,
watch.
man.
Yeah.
That is cool. The Lions beat the Cowboys in real football last night, 44-30. But then
Nice
again,
one.
the NFL is much softer, so I don't know. I don't know if I can call it real football anymore. Let's see. And the Broncos, you guys get ready for the Raiders. So big weekend coming up. Hopefully the Broncos can take care of business if you are indeed a Broncos fan. And we know, who is it again? It's a Raiders fan. Our list.
Gabe.
Oh, Gabe. That's right. Gabe's ready for the Raiders to pull off the upset this weekend. Islanders beat the Avalanche last night 6-3. Nuggets in Atlanta tonight, 5:30 tip. 25 in Broomfield, 26 in Lone Tree, 28 in Denver. You are waking up with Jeff and Billy, and I'll listen to Candace this afternoon to give you an update on Monday. Blake Olson, News Talk 710 KNUS.
Be on the lookout for some limited visibility and areas of fog to get your day started. After the fog burns off, becoming mostly sunny, highs mid to upper 30s. Fair tonight, teens and 20s. Mostly to partly cloudy, upper 30s to near 40 on Friday, near the mid-20s Friday night. Mostly to partly cloudy Saturday. During the course of the day Saturday, there will be a chance of snow showers, as tonight, Friday, and Saturday, there will be snow in Colorado's mountains, with a few snow showers reaching the plains. Meteorologist Don Day in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
Well, this weekend you have an important job ahead of you. All Coloradans need to get together and sign 3 petitions, and we've got some locations and times for you. So listen to this. Oh, Bill, do we have the audio on that? We'll stop. Okay, you ready? Okay.
Hey, Colorado, our 3 initiatives to protect girls' sports, punish child sex traffickers, and prohibit sex change surgeries on children are going amazing. Over 80,000 people have already signed the petition. Now it's your turn. This Saturday, December 6th, from 9 a.m. to noon, we'll have a drive-up signing event where you just drive up, we'll hand you the petition, you sign it, and go. It's that easy. We'll be in Woodland Park at Church of the Nazarene, Church at Briargate in Colorado Springs, Destiny Christian Center in Greeley, Colorado. We'll be at Colorado Christian University in Denver, and at the Office Depot parking lot in Montrose, Colorado.
We'll also be in Fort Collins at Day Spring Christian Church at 8005 Highland Meadows Parkway.
It's time. Protect our children, Colorado.
So 3 ballot initiatives. 1, protecting children from sex trafficking. 2nd, protecting children from irreversible sex change procedures. So that would ban those trans medical procedures on kids. And then 3rd, protecting girls' single-sex sports and locker rooms, which even CHASA seems to be waking up and figuring out might be a good idea. Joining us is the woman helping lead this effort with Protect Kids Colorado, is Erin Lee. Good morning, Erin. Thank you for your time this morning.
Yes, good morning.
Hey, Jeff and Bill. Thanks for having me.
All right, so 80,000. How many signatures do you need?
You know, 80,000 is a conservative estimate. With a volunteer effort, it's hard to gauge, but it's 125,000 valid signatures that we need to turn into the Secretary of State in February. And so we're shooting for 200,000 to account for up to 30% invalidation. And so I think we're about halfway there, and we're about halfway through the timeline. And we definitely grow as we go, so we're on the right trajectory to win, but it's going to be a big push here over the next 9 weeks.
And tomorrow's a big day, 9 to noon. You mentioned all those different locations. Why do you need people to swing by and sign it themselves? Typically, don't you see these people like outside King Soopers trying to get signature petitions? Why do people need to come to your event?
Yeah, and so there's actually two kinds of circulators you see out and about. There's paid circulators who are, sent out and paid per signature. But at PKC, we're an all-volunteer effort. So no one is making any money on gathering signatures. You won't always see us out soliciting in front of King Soopers, but instead we've engaged, really this is a cultural movement. It's not just trying to pass legislation by the will of the people. We have activated over 1,500 volunteers, over 300 churches. And really, it's our heart to not just pass this important legislation, which would be just absolutely pivotal for Colorado, but also to start this cultural movement where thousands of people are out having conversations with their family and friends and neighbors. Step one is educating people on these issues, and that we're doing that in the process of getting the signatures. So this is an easy way for people just to drive up, takes 5 minutes. You don't even have to leave the warmth of your car to be part of massive change in Colorado.
They're all listed online. If you go to protectkidscolorado.org and then click on the events tab, protectkidscolorado.org/events, you'll see where they all are, which is Saturday is crazy, as well as it looks like on Sunday. You guys are pretty busy as well, collecting signatures. Let's talk about some of these ballot initiatives. Two I understand to be rather, kind of culturally controversial. They shouldn't be, but they are because we live in a blue state. But protecting kids from sex trafficking, who wouldn't want that? Help me understand why this ballot initiative is so important, why a Democrat-led legislature wouldn't just pass this.
What a no-brainer, right? Well, you've probably had my friend Brandy Bradley on, House Representative from Douglas County. She, 2 years in a row, ran a bipartisan bill with Regina English that would just put minimum jail time penalties on people who rape children. Right now in Colorado, you can rape 3 children on 3 separate occasions, and you are guaranteed probation. You're guaranteed a slap on the wrist. So for whatever reason, the Democrats unilaterally all voted against this bill multiple years in a row that would just hold people who have been convicted of sexually abusing children accountable. And so this is a pretty important step that if you buy or sell a child for sex in the state of Colorado, this now gives DAs the option to prosecute you to the full extent of the law with life in prison.
Yeah, and we heard during those committee hearings why they were really, really concerned about how the criminals would be treated in prison.
Yeah,
I mean, that seemed to be like a bigger priority to them.
Yeah, they're definitely, I remember Lorena Garcia saying we're not an eye for an eye state, and if we put these abusers away, they'll be sexually abused in prison. Well, yeah, they shouldn't have raped the child and put themselves in that situation. We've gotten a little bit of pushback as we're out and about on this. People who are really, bleeding hearts say that people deserve a second chance, but the reality is that these kids don't get a second chance. Once they've been abused, once they've been sold into sex slavery, they don't get a second chance at life, so why should the perpetrator be given that opportunity?
That's Erin Lee. She's gathering signatures on 3 big, important ballot initiatives that if she gets enough signatures, she's got to get to 125,000. They're at 80,000. Then this can be on your ballot next year in the fall of 2026. If you go to protectkidscolorado.org, click on events, you'll see all the locations they're going to be at this weekend. Let's talk protecting children from irreversible sex change procedures. Erin, don't we believe in parental rights? If a parent believes that they have a trans child, they should have the right to be able to begin medical procedures with those kids. So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, well, parents don't have a right to physically abuse their kids. And the way this initiative is written, it's pretty common sense. We're only going after the surgeries. In a perfect world, I would have loved to outlaw social and chemical transition as well. These puberty blockers are not reversible. But as a first step, I like to say we're taking small bites out of the donkey. It's what the Democrats do. We are just tackling the surgery issue. And in no world does it make sense that we should be chopping off the healthy body parts of otherwise healthy children for a mental health condition. So, we set age limits for smoking and drinking and joining the military. Kids should wait until they're at least 18. I would argue 25 because their brains aren't fully developed until then. But this is a starting point that no one under the age of 18 can have healthy body parts hacked off. It's that simple.
Well, and you're seeing now headlines regarding doctors admitting that with regards to these sex change procedures, they're just kind of winging it. I think was one exact quote, that they don't really have the evidence that this is going to benefit the kids, that it is a mental health issue, and that by carving up these children's bodies. They're just kind of winging it to see what happens. Wow.
Yeah, and it's important to note, Colorado Children's Hospital is under investigation by the FBI and the DOJ right now on Do No Harm. There's a website, stoptheharmdatabase.com. I encourage people to go there because it's hard statistics on the amount of kids who have been surgically mutilated. And our Children's Hospital ranks number 10 in the country for the amount of kids that have been hacked up. I mean, this is unethical butchery, and it's a major problem here in Colorado. One argument we get is that's not happening. Well, it is. And stoptheharmdatabase.com proves that with hard insurance data.
That's important, and there's going to be coming lawsuits on this. My goodness, I mean, if there's lawsuits building against Facebook for what they knew was being done to kids, and the fact that they hid some of the research and still made social media available to kids, you don't think that we're going to end up with lawsuits from people that were harmed by these surgeries, where doctors are admitting they're just winging it and permanently scarring these children? There's going to be massive lawsuits. The idea that you would be a doctor that's going to engage in this is crazy. Well, you're crazy to begin with, but I do hope you get sued into the ground. This is coming. This is definitely coming. All right, let's talk protecting girls' single-sex sports and locker rooms. Big decision coming out from CHASA yesterday. We had Chris Murray on during the 7 o'clock hour, where CHASA going, all right, fine, we'll just, if some school districts want to keep men out of women's sports and men out of women's locker rooms, then we'll allow that to happen. But this does need to be clarified in the state, because you can have counties and school districts that would allow men to compete in women's sports, other counties that wouldn't. There's got to be a little bit of clarity here, a little bit of equality. Would this do that? Would this ballot measure that you're running seek to provide that type of clarity and safety and protection for women?
Yes, and that's a huge win for Brad Miller law and those 4 school districts and 4 charters who cannot be penalized by CHASA. Now that decision, that settlement that came out yesterday protects them in their very common sense policies that are, go along with biological sex as the facilities and sports that they will use. That's great for those 4 school districts. There's still 175 other school districts in the state who are not taking common sense steps to protect females in their Title IX protected single-sex spaces. And so this would just ensure that every single league, in fact, that takes any kind of public funding, not just K through 12 education, would be held to that standard, that you will participate male, female, and co-ed. And I want to make it clear, we're not trying to exclude anyone. We do emphasize a third category. If there is no female league, then females can participate in the male sports, like football as an example. But it is so imperative that we are protecting young females, their safety, their fairness, their dignity as they're changing in these locker rooms, in their single-sex spaces. It shouldn't be up to kids to speak up for themselves. We're seeing that happen all over the country. It's up to us, the adults, to do the right thing and safeguard those spaces, just as Title IX has done for decades.
That's Erin Lee with Protect Kids Colorado. They have 3 ballot initiatives, and they need your signatures in order to get this on the ballot. They don't have the big fundraising apparatus and paid signature gathering system that other ballot initiatives do. This is really grassroots. This is mom and dads. This is parents. This is people in the community, grandparents going, you know what, we don't like the direction of the state with regards to protecting children from sex trafficking, protecting children from irreversible sex change procedures, and protecting girls' single-sex sports and locker rooms. So we need to put this on the ballot so people can vote on it. Go to protectkidscolorado.org, protectkidscolorado.org. If you click on their events tab, you'll see a calendar with all of the locations. They're going to be all over this weekend. They need you to drive up. You don't even need to get out of your car. Sign the petition. By the way, if you've already signed it, you can't sign it twice. It's only once. But sign the petition so this can be on the ballot. And Erin, I'm going to ask you the tough question here. We've seen good organizations get ballot initiatives before the voters in the past, like trying to reduce abortion in the 3rd trimester, so late-term abortions, and then you watch the voters of Colorado just come in and squash it because we're so progressive in this state. Do you think that the average voter in Colorado, who right now is supporting AOC, Bernie Sanders, Jared Polis, Phil Weiser, deep blue progressive Colorado, is going to vote to pass these ballot initiatives. Your thoughts?
I know they will. These are 80-20 issues, even according to the New York Times. I think in some areas they're more like 90-10 issues. They're common sense. And again, the reason we worded them the way we did, I would have loved to tackle all transition. We're only tackling the surgeries because that's what the people of Colorado are ready to say yes to. I think a lot of people, even though they vote deep blue, they do have a common sense to do the right thing by children. These are really unifying issues. And, we're an apolitical organization. I'm nonpartisan. I'm unaffiliated myself. And this has really brought people together. It's been inspiring to see, the radical feminists and people who've been lifelong Democrats who say, listen, I vote Democrat, but I can't say no to this. This is common sense. We're very hard-pressed to find people who won't sign the petition, and I think that's really an early indicator of how people will vote. Now, the hurdle is just, as you said, getting them onto the ballot. We're breaking the mold of how this process is done by not buying the signatures because we want this to be a We the People movement, and we want to ensure that when we make the ballot, we've already educated hundreds of thousands of Coloradans on the issue, and they're ready to vote yes.
This is going to be a multifaceted battle. First hurdle, getting the signatures. Once it's on the ballot, then Planned Parenthood, ACLU, and all those progressive organizations are going to show up, throw hundreds of millions of dollars probably against it. That's why you need to support great organizations like Protect Kids Colorado who are doing this without all that crazy lib progressive investment coming in from outside the state. Guys, there's so much money that progressives have. It's really a We the People movement that has to stand up against it. That's why I encourage you to go to protectkidscolorado.org, click on the events tab, figure out where you can join them to sign up, but then also click that donate tab, support Protect Kids Colorado, the important work they're doing here to protect your kids. Here's the commercial Erin Lee put together where you can learn about all the different locations.
Hey Colorado, our 3 initiatives to protect girls' sports, punish child sex traffickers, and prohibit sex change surgeries on children are going amazing. Over 80,000 people have already signed the petition. Now it's your turn. This Saturday, December 6th, from 9 a.m. to noon, we'll have a drive-up signing event where you just drive up, we'll hand you the petition, you sign it, and go. It's that easy. We'll be in Woodland Park at Church of the Nazarene, Church at Briargate in Colorado Springs, Destiny Christian Center in Greeley, Colorado. We'll be at Colorado Christian University in Denver and at the Office Depot parking lot in Montrose, Colorado.
We'll also be in Fort Collins at Day Spring Christian Church at 8005 Highland Meadows Parkway.
It's time. Protect our children, Colorado.
Erin Lee, Protect Kids Colorado, thank you for your time this morning.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, let's talk Gyrie's. My wife and I have had an absolutely fantastic experience at Gyrie's. They're all throughout the Denver metro area. Let me tell you, you get to sit down with a professional designer, and they show you an incredible selection of Hunter Douglas custom blinds, shades, and shutters. Look, I was a little overwhelmed at first. I've never worked with a professional personal designer, but one, it's not crazy expensive, so don't worry about that. But two, she walked us through everything and helped us find the perfect options to enhance the look and functionality of our home. So whether your curtains are clashing or you just want a fresh look, Gyrie's has the solutions for you. Their designers are the experts, and they can help you with everything from window treatments to full room decor. But here's the best part. They offer a personalized in-home consultation. They come directly to you, so you can get the same expert advice right in your own home. Do yourself a favor. Get started today. Visit Gyrie's.com to schedule your in-home consultation. That's GUIRYS.com. Go see the great people at Gyrie's. You'll be sure to thank me. And we'll continue with your phone calls and texts. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710, KNUS.
back to the Jeff and Bill Show on a Friday. Let's go to the phone lines. Nick in Denver. Good morning, Nick. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Morning.
Very, very quick, just a little food for thought. What we call fossil fuels, primarily oil and coal, are really solar energy. They were produced by the sun and thousands or actually millions of years of geological forces. So when we use fossil fuels, we are actually using solar energy in an indirect form. Just a little food for thought.
Yeah, and again, Nick and I appreciate that because if we, in the long form of history, it's renewable. You just got to get into fossils and everything else. And so that's the part that I think the green energy argument misses is it shouldn't be an all or nothing. It should be the idea of a blended economy that the renewables take the pressure off of some areas that are more difficult because, in all honesty, the oil and gas, especially the petroleum and the oil we're pulling out of the ground, is some of the most universal ingredients that we have out there. And I just mean all the different stuff that is made from the things that we get from the oil, the plastics and everything else. It is an incredibly universal product. And so the idea that we're going to get rid of it, no. But are there points of, hey, maybe we don't need to push so much of it into here and we take some of the load off of the electrical grid, or we take advantage of this option, especially PUC was coming to us, Nick. Imagine if PUC came to us and said, hey, we need to invest and we are going to make this, not you, the bill payer, but we, the company, are going to invest in renewable energy so that we can make sure your bills are lower because we can get this natural source of energy that is going to make it more efficient for you. That's a win. But when they come to you and say, nope, you got to rip all this crap out of your house and you have to replace this because we've decided years after we already told you to go clean with natural gas because that was supposed to be the original clean energy, then they sound stupid. And they are being
moving target all the time. Nick, Denver, sure appreciate the
Thanks,
call.
man. Have a great
Friend,
weekend.
let's talk Dan Capitalist Law. Dan suggests you should choose a lawyer who shares your values because who you choose to represent you in an injury case says a lot about you to everybody involved in the case. I've known Dan for well over a decade, an absolutely stirring reputation in Colorado because he's dedicated 40 years of his life to helping people who've been hurt in serious motor vehicle crashes. People know that if you want justice and you want honesty, you go with Dan Capitalist and Dan Capitalist Law. Dan is believed to be the only lawyer in Colorado history to win 5 straight multi-million-dollar verdicts in Colorado crash cases. Dan is also believed to have won the largest truck crash verdict in Colorado state history. Dan Capitalist Law is the official law firm partner of the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche. Dan Capitalist Law is a serious firm for serious cases. Dan accepts righteous injury cases on a percentage fee basis so that he can represent good people from all walks of life without regard to ability to pay. So if you need Dan's help, give him a call. Here's the phone number, 303-770-5551. 303-770-5551 or hit dancapitalistlaw.com. That's Dan, C-A-P-L-I-S law.com. Jacqueline, you'll be up next. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710 KNUS.
Bill,
Yeah.
I don't want your head to explode, but
Uh-oh.
right now, Donald Trump on the red carpet for FIFA. It is the combination of everything you love. Soccer, Donald Trump, all together. Please try to contain yourself.
He's on the screen right now, and he's standing next to Infantino, who's the head of FIFA. That is a phenomenally amazing capture of corruption in one TV screen. There's a whole hell of a lot of corruption going on in that screen right now. Oh, the amount of bribery and corruption there.
Donald Trump loves your sport, Bill. He's such a man of the people. He appreciates you.
He doesn't
and
love
your
my sport at all. No, he hates my sport.
All about soccer. Look at him out there. When have you ever seen a president on the red carpet about soccer?
I would challenge him to name 3 positions on a team. I would still. What are the 3? Name 3 positions, or just name a formation. He has no idea what it is, and that's okay.
Goalie, ball
that's
kicker.
Okay.
Ball
Exactly.
kicker.
That's the problem.
Goalie.
That's exactly it.
All
Nobody
right,
knows.
we all know how hard it is to run a gun store in Colorado right now. It's brutal. The progressives in this state have put all of these restrictions on law-abiding gun ownership. They don't go after the criminals. No, we've got major crime. We're the second most dangerous state in the nation. But if you're a law-abiding gun owner, you know how difficult it is because you're trying to follow the rules. A lot of gun shops closing down, heading out. So the ones that are sticking around, that are really putting their head down and working hard to protect your right to purchase firearms, to protect your family, you got to go support them. One of my absolute favorites, the Gun Room in Lakewood. Wayne's fantastic, and they're so helpful. They're not going to make you feel like you're not a pro. They want to help you get the gun that's going to protect you and your family. And, guys, holidays coming up. Gift cards to the Gun Room will be a winner for so many people in your life. Go check out denvergunroom.com, denvergunroom.com, phone number 303-237-1300. They'll buy your used firearms. They've got new, used, huge selection, thousands of guns. Go check them out, denvergunroom.com. Be sure to tell them Jeff sent you. Let's close it out with Jacqueline, Nebraska. Good morning, Jacqueline. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Morning.
Good morning, guys. I just love your show this week. You know, you've heard of Trinidad, Colorado. Years ago, if a man wanted to go and be transitioned, have the surgery to become a female, and I'm not going to go into what they do, I think you know, but anyway, it took them about 3 years. They had transitioned into the life of a woman. They had to do that. They had to express themselves as a woman. Now, I know a gentleman who did that, and I'm telling you what, he's a chiropractor, or she's a chiropractor now. He regretted it. This is 45 years ago. He regretted doing that. He did. He told me, he says, you know, I should have never done it. I said, why did you do that? He said, I was more employable as a female. I said, oh, my God. So you go through this surgery because you think I'm going to get a better job. Well, he is. He lives in Kansas right now. But I'm going to tell you something about Mother Earth. Mother Earth gives us gifts, and she gives us gifts in the way of oil and gas, and she replenishes the surface of the earth. That's the way this earth revolves.
Jacqueline, I love the wisdom coming from all the way from Nebraska. Thank you so much for.
I'm from Montrose, sweetheart. Don't forget that. I'm a Colorado girl.
Through and through. Have a
Thank you,
wonderful
Jacqueline.
weekend,
Have a wonderful
Jacqueline.
weekend. Stay warm.
Always great to hear from her.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been a wild show. If you missed any of it, go to 710knus.com. We spoke with Chris Murray about a settlement from CHASA regarding men and women's sports and high school athletics. We spoke with Barb Kirkmeyer on the new effort from the Public Utilities Commission to take out all the natural gas in your home because having natural gas is racist, according to the left here. And then Erin Lee with Protect Kids Colorado, gathering signatures all across Colorado. And Bill Thorpe, just ecstatic that Donald Trump has embraced soccer, out there promoting the sport he loves.
Yeah, waiting till the FIFA gives him his peace prize he's been wanting. You know they invented that for him, right? They're going to give him a World Cup peace prize.
That's because he's given so much to the sport,
thing is,
Bill.
it's because it hasn't existed before, and they just have to invent it. just special for him.
Who has given so much to the development of this sport?
He's a
It's
special
Donald Trump.
boy. He's a special boy. You give him a special gift.
Oh, it's been a fun week.
It has been so much
we
fun.
so appreciate you all being a part of it with your phone calls and texts. We'll be back next week. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader. We can't do this without you. Thanks for listening. 710 CAN US. We'll catch you Monday.